got Mr. Box. We're coming into this late 1880s red ore mine, and we're going to go check out a slope that we had seen a while back. So this is the only way to get to this mine. So, all right. Okay, we've got to go up through this breakthrough here, and we were just noticing the wood remains in these inserts that the miners carved out right there. And you know, if they were cross beams, they could have. Yeah, just look way up there.
Way up there, yeah.
They could have been an angle, so they had cross beam support here. And there's one of the last of the timber supports, but there's more of them right there and there. And yeah, I guess they just had it for extra safety. I don't know what good that would have done though, but would have been the one that wanted to lift it up there. But anyway, we're gonna keep heading up this way. All right. So what you got here is the remains of a collapsed header. Back in the day, this probably would have been about 20-25 feet high. So basically we're actually walking on the ceiling. That's the shell right there, solid shell. So we've got to go this route right here. So, all right. Okay, so looking down there, there's the work headers, and they're dropping like on a terrace system, and just through the upstart or breakthrough, if you want to call it, is a remains of a wooden timber support still in place, and a few others. And Mr. Box noticed that is still standing right there. Unbelievable. That's probably 140 years old right there, and it's still in place holding that up. That's pretty remarkable.
Go kick it.
Yeah, let me kick it. But anyway, we're just going to be making our way heading on down, and we're going to make our way this way and see if we can get to this slope. Okay, so we have arrived on this slope. This is the main haulage way slope, and when they closed this mine in the 50s, it took them quite a while. They had to remove tens of thousands of feet of heavy-duty gauge rail, including on the slope. They had to dismantle everything, but they left everything else in place. So those are the electrical lines right there. And this mine, they used skip cars on this mine, 12-ton skip cars. So looking all the way down, you still have some of the cable hoist rollers still in place, but everything is pretty much pristine, just like when they closed this mine. They just left it pretty much intact, good condition. So we're going to be exploring around here for a little while. But just wanted to take a video of this main slope. It's pretty awesome. Great steel I-beam support, man, fantastic. I feel for the people that had to put this up in place. So, but I'm sure they had a pretty easy method to do it. All right. Okay, so before we start heading down, we made our way up as near to the top as possible. And this is the concrete line part of the shaft. The slope is concreted for about 150 feet from the entrance, and it's looking all the way down. So, and you've got these little recesses right here that the engineers built, that if anybody was on these tracks working, and a skip car was coming up, or a man car was going down and coming up, they could get off the tracks and get in that recess so they wouldn't get run over. So there's several of them looking down the slope here, the concrete line section. But anyway, it's pretty remarkable. Fantastic engineering for the day. And I'm not sure what that is. There remains that could be an air compressor line, just not sure. But whatever it is, they had insulation on it. It could be hot water even. Not sure. But anyway, that's looking down.
If you look.
So, on our way down, we're going to check out some of the original work headers real quick that go back to the 1880s, late 1880s. So when they came in and modified this mine and concrete lined the upper section of the slope right here. They had no more need for these earlier work entries, so they just sealed them off by putting this concrete line slope in. So, just thought since we're heading to the bottom, we just kind of start at the top and take a quick look and see what was up here. So this is one of the earlier work headers going back to the late 1880s in this mine. All right. Okay, so we're just taking a look. Not going to really be able to go anywhere. See, it's collapsed. They did in this mine what's called a retreating pillar method. So they knew they weren't going to come back to this work header. They extracted these support pillars of the red ore, and eventually the whole ceiling would collapse. You got a old section of tramway rail right there going back to late 1880s right there. Right there. Part of a bucket right there. So anyway, that would go back a long ways, but you can't really go any place. All right, so we'll drop down to the next work entry and see what we can find. Okay, so I've dropped down into the next work entry right here, pretty much the same as the one up top. So there's access back there, but we don't have time to go do all this. These are just quick checks as we make our way to the bottom. But one thing did come across, that is probably an early 1900s beer bottle right there. Who knows? Couldn't really give the exact date, but I would probably say early 1900s beer bottle. You know, these miners, man, they had no problems drinking whiskey or beer in the mines. So sometimes you come across these bottles. But Anyway, got the wooden timber support still in place, and it's the slope. Like I said, just spending a few minutes looking around each one. You never know if you're going to find something like that. So, okay, we'll keep making our way on down. Mr. Boggs is on the slope. He's kind of waiting on me. So, all right. Okay, so dropped up into another work entry. Got the timber supports here. Huge timber supports. And you see they did a retreating pillar method on this one also. So we got the cross ties right there. Huh. And still got this old timber support. This is probably early 1890s. You can see when they brought that in off the mountain, they just chopped the limbs off of it. Right there. So, looks like there's a passageway in the back, but like I said, we don't want to burn up too much time. We've got a lot of mine to explore. And that's a curved piece of rail right there. So, that's looking back out. Okay, we'll drop down and we'll just keep working away. We're going to probably make our way straight down the slope after this one. So, all right. Okay, there's another one right there, but we're not going to have time to check that out because we're going to the bottom. So, Mr. Boggs is down there on the slope ahead of me. So we're going to start just slowly making our descent down. All right. Okay, so we've been making our way down the slope. So just thought I'd drop off into one of these work entries way further down on the slope. Just across on the other side, there are work entries. Just above up there's work entries. These are about 25 feet high. These timber supports here. And as they kept going down the rooms, the work entry rooms get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, you're just in a huge gallery right here. Now that's 50 feet up. Up there from where I'm at is 100 feet high. So the light, I've got good lights, excellent lights, but they're barely doing any good. So this is just how big many of these mines are the deeper you go. And that right there, that whole thing, that is the ore seam. It's pretty remarkable. That's a good 30, in some areas 35, 40 feet high. So that's looking back at the slope, but just thought I'd take a quick look in just due to the size of this work entry here. And you can see they did the retreating pillar method back there. It's completely caved in. So, all right. So I'll make our way back on the slope right here. And rejoin Mr. Boggs. All right. Okay, so we're looking back up the slope here, and you've got the intact water pipelines, because, you know, they were always pumping that water out 24/7. That water was being pumped out of these mines. Some of the mines, they pumped out 2 million gallons a day of water from these deep underground aquifers. So that's looking way back up into the darkness. So, and right there, and this right here is an interior tunnel. Right here, the old workings of the mine are above, right there. So what happened is the miners, they would do diamond drills, drilling way out ahead of where the slope was going to get the depth of the ore seam. And they found out that this one, there was a geological fault where the ore seam had split and it had dropped about 300 feet below. And the only way to get to it, to continue mining, was to construct a new tunnel to go down up under and meet the ore seam. So to go below the fault or to go down and meet it. But this right here is an interior concrete lined tunnel in this slope. Try to get around some of this stuff here. And that's looking down into the darkness right there. And it's pretty steep drop. I mean, we're on a steep down angle now, but right there, it increases the angle of descent. So, a lot of timbers falling here, but impressive engineering, man, right here. So, and Mr. Box went up above, up there. So, all right. Okay, so just down below where that sludge is the water line in the tunnel. So all this has been underwater, pretty much constant. You look at that, it's just a slime mass. But right up there, still there, is an intact, probably a Sylvania GE 200 watt incandescent light bulb still in place. We just need to turn it on. Yeah. I bet that took some special skills, man, because you'd have to be on a man trip or something. Hoist cable operator would have to stop you right here just to put in a new bulb. But anyway, that's as far as we're going to go. I mean, if you don't hold on to the cable right here, the signal bell cable, man, you're just going to slide right down into the abyss. So there's Mr. Box back there. But you can see decades this section's been underwater. Nasty. So, all right, well, but this tunnel will go for another 400 feet before it levels out to hit the ore seam. That's how deep this tunnel is. And it's concrete lined the whole way. So, all right,